Well, the president has a positive take on the State of the Union ahead of tomorrow night's address, but the American people may feel otherwise. A new poll finds 62% of Americans think the president has not accomplished much, compared to 36% who say he's accomplished a great deal or at least a good amount. Chief Washington correspondent Blake Berman is live. Blake, based on this polling, lots of Americans not feeling so far the impact of his agenda. What should we expect tomorrow?
Exactly, Nichole. President Biden has spent the last couple of days not too far away down the road over at Camp David, putting the finishing touches on this speech tomorrow night, the State of the Union address here in Washington, D.C. And today over here at the White House, his team was really trying to pound the economic message. And there's really a couple reasons why here. First off, they know that they have to deal with the inflation picture, what that's been over the past couple of years, along with sagging poll numbers from Americans when it comes to their own financial situation. The president's top economic advisor, Brian Deese, says the president will make the case that his legislative agenda is about to really kick in.
On all three of the major pieces of legislation, on infrastructure, chips and science, and on the Inflation Reduction Act, 2023 is the year in which the most significant impact will begin to occur. And so, these things operate in stages.
The White House today said that the president is optimistic about the future of the economy, and he will try to tell that story. Expect the president as well to tout the jobs situation, that good print that happened on Friday, as well as they believe an inflation picture that is starting to drop, Nichole.
All right. Well, we can't forget about the Chinese surveillance balloon so many Americans are still talking about. Is he expected to address that?
Yeah. So President Biden just got back here to the White House within the past hour, and he was asked that very question. Watch here.
Does this change your speech tomorrow night, sir, and your foreign policy message?
So the president says, no, it won't. We'll, of course, wait to see what he says about China and the greater relationship there. The White House today, Nichole, said that the president will talk about reasserting global leadership.
Interesting, but will not address the balloon. All right, Blake, of course, Republicans will have a chance to respond.
Yeah, they do. And it will come from a very, very familiar face from over here at the White House. Sarah Sanders is the governor of Arkansas, but of course, for many years, she was over here at the White House at one point serving as President Trump's press secretary. She will give the rebuttal speech for Republicans after President Biden gives his State of the Union address. She is the governor of Arkansas. She is also the youngest governor in the U.S., the first woman, by the way, to be the governor of her home state. The Republican Governors Association says that Governor Sanders will put forth what they call, quote, real solutions and not failed policies. Nichole?
All right, yeah, lots to watch tomorrow. All right, Blake, thank you for that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.